My name is Sam Smith. I studied football business and media, and I'm currently a media coordinator for Premier League Productions. Within the media management team, my current role involves a lot of clipping of content, ingesting content, and basically dealing with content that's coming into the building. So we get all sorts of things like press conferences, interviews, shows that are produced, and our role is essentially to handle that content, make sure it goes to the right places, make sure that our producers and editors can access it, and then also when it's finished to put it out to broadcasters so that they're able to access it. So our day-to-day is quite dependent on the day. So we'll work all days of the week, including the weekends. Our weekdays though look quite different to the weekends. So weekdays will normally be focused around either shows or press conferences. Then when it comes to the weekend, we all have different roles. A lot of people within PLP started within media management. So me, for example, I want to work on the live side. So I'm normally down in the gallery working on an EVS remote, whether that be for our full EVS, where I'll be building highlights during a game, I'll be building closers, clipping up interviews and arrivals, that sort of thing. Or we have an additional line that I also work across occasionally. Then there'll also be people up here that are responsible for the interviews post-match, making sure that our broadcasters get hold of them, making sure that clubs get their highlights as well, because that's part of what they pay for within their package. And then also we have people that are operating other roles within the live side of things, so replays and clips for an additional line as well. So the best thing about working at PLP and what makes it such a good place to work is the atmosphere within the company. Right from the top, you get the feeling of being valued, being welcome. There's so many good aspects to the social side of things that PLP put on. I mean, I've just been saying the last few days, we've had socials that they provide where there's so much that's done, so much work that's gone into it that make it such a good event. And then everybody wants people to progress and to move up and to do well, really. So there's so many times when we're sharing kind of information and things that people have done well, and everybody's very supportive. If you want time with somebody to shadow them, they're always more than welcome to help you out. So yeah, I think the atmosphere is the best thing about it. Working in the Premier League has been kind of a bit of a dream, really. It's obviously quite a privilege to be able to work on the Premier League, which personally I think is the best league in the world. So working on that and following a team that's within that Premier League is a real pleasure and a privilege. It's one of those things where you wanted to get to a benchmark within your career. So my course was football business and media, and it was quite sort of new when I started. I was, I think, the second year of intake at Wembley. So the course developed quite a lot in that time, and we built on what we were doing basically. So I loved really the broadcast side of things, which I hadn't necessarily anticipated when I came in. I was thinking more along the lines of written journalism, but then because of the diversity within that course and the mix of topics that we covered, it gave me a taste of that. And then once I picked up a camera, it was that from then on, really. That was where I was aiming, that's where I was going for. And particularly the studio side of things was what I enjoyed a lot, which is relevant now to the job that I'm in and where I want to go with that, because I'd ultimately like to become a director, but that's a long path. But I'm regularly within the gallery now and working within that side of things. So yeah, the course was the perfect platform really for working within the industry. So during my time at UCFB as the broadcast assistant, one of my roles was to kind of help oversee and design the new studio at Archery House. And that was a difficult but rewarding project, trying to get as good of a approximation of a studio and a gallery as we could with the space, obviously, we had at Archery House. But then coming to Premier League Productions, you see that operating in our galleries, we have many galleries that are a similar sort of size and a setup to what we have what we built at Archery House. So the number of people in there is very similar, the sort of space in there is very similar, and the actual setup as well, whilst the kit is obviously a lot more developed and a lot more complicated than at Archery House. It is the same principles, so the key skills that students learn within that studio is very much transferable to when they come here and when they're working on broadcast in the real world. So yeah. My advice for anyone trying to get into a broadcast role is, particularly at UCFB, you have the facilities there, you have the opportunity. There's so many people that are now wanting to work within UCFB as well, and people coming from outside asking for time in the studio and students to help out, that there's no excuse almost not to. It's the perfect chance to make mistakes, to learn from those mistakes, and then to develop your skills within a role where you've got support from lecturers, support from staff. So my advice would be just throw yourself into it, make use of that studio and that time whilst you can, because you're not necessarily going to be able to get it unless you get into a good job. You're not going to get that opportunity once you've left the university.